Welcome to the Random-esque podcast with your hosts, Dr. Paul Banks and Jim Mooney. And remember, always stay random-esque.
What's up, Randummy?
Yo, what's up,
Happy New Year, Randummy.
And Happy New Year to you, my friend.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you. Did you have a good New Year?
I did.
I think you need to move your mic a little closer. We want to hear that wonderful, lovely voice.
I had a fantastic New Year.
You did?
Well, it's got it. Well, so far.
So far. Yeah, no, it's been a good New Year so far. Here at the Random-esque podcast, we like to say, always stay random-esque. So we're your hosts, Jim and Paul, and we are in the cold today. Wild. Very cold, wild, right?
Well, let's see what we got. It's got to be like in the 20s here in New Providence, New Jersey.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's definitely cold here today.
It's gonna be.
Is it a polar vortex or something like that?
I don't know, but it's gonna be cold at that Eagles game on Sunday.
Oh yeah, are you going on Sunday?
Am I going?
Are you going?
Am I going?
I know that was a silly question. Anyway, we're taping in New Providence today. Pretty cold out here in January. But thanks to my family for hosting today. And, we have a very random podcast going on. And before I forget, I want to give Paul his holiday gift from, this is for you.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that is your holiday gift from the Rocco family. So my daughter-in-law, Ange, and her family, but her sister made that for you.
Wow, thank you so much.
I think that's part of one of your Hanukkah gifts.
It could be.
Yeah, so that can, you can pick which 8th day you want to put that toward, and that could be your gift for one of those 8 days.
Well, I think that I have something to decorate my menorah with next year.
Yeah, you should open it up and show the Randummies the beautiful ornament. I was saying you could hang it on your rearview mirror. Maybe you're not able to open it. You can just show it through the mesh thing. There's
2024
and the Random-esque podcast. It's an ornament.
It's an ornament.
Maybe you could hang that on your rearview mirror or something. I never understood that hanging stuff on rearview mirrors thing, but whatever.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Some people do. I see a lot of those Italian horns. And you know what? Back in the 80s, remember the dice?
Yeah, the dice.
And then the Christmas tree fresheners.
There was always the tree refreshener.
Yeah, I had a menorah air freshener.
Yeah, you have a menorah.
I had one.
Do you really?
Oh no, not now.
Oh, not now, but you did.
I did.
Yeah, I never understood that whole thing. But
and mine lasted for 8 days.
Yes, it did. It kept the car smelling
fresh for 8 days.
Anyway, we have a few topics of conversation today. First, we're going to have a little Yo Paulie, and believe it or not, we are going to get a visit from
Bobbette,
Bob's wife,
Mrs.
TP
Bobbette.
Bob. Yeah, Mrs. Bobbette. She's going to make an appearance. You're okay with her coming today, right, to the show?
I hope it's a quick appearance.
You hope it's a quick appearance. Me too. Trust me. Then we're going to have a conversation with Barbara Maninno. She is a corporate communications person, and we're going to talk with her about marketing and communications strategies for 2025. What a great time to talk about it. Obviously, setting yourself up for the year, since it's the beginning of a new year. And then an oldie but a goodie from our good friend and soothsayer and seer of the future, Jimmie the Moonificent will be visiting us as well. And finally, we will then discuss our words for the year, since we're starting a new year. What are the words we're going to think in our mind throughout the year to drive our businesses and sales and personal lives, and whatever the word you choose deems, appropriately for what you want to use that for or something. Anyway. And hey, just another reminder that we've rescheduled our conversation with comedian Mike Marino at TV Clark, TV 36 in Clark. Stay tuned for more of that. So he'll be on in a few shows. We just locked that in, so we're all set with that.
I mean, we waited a long time for that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had to reschedule because of my father.
Yeah. And there was another issue too. I think there were a couple of things.
Mike was obviously incredibly gracious about it,
right.
So much appreciated, and he flexed to doing it in January. So really appreciate that. That adjustment, Mike. So check out Mike's upcoming tour schedule at MikeMarino.net. That's MikeMarino.net. For ticket information and show times, he's really funny, great comedian, an entertainer. And when you go to his shows, buy his t-shirts because Minuteman Press prints them for him. We're doing another batch of them for 2025. We just put those in production. So the more shirts you buy, the more we can manufacture them. So that's what it's all about, commerce. So, with this episode being called Communication, we title each of the shows, obviously, and even our notes that we use for the show have communication on it. We have some announcements on new avenues of communication for the show for 2025. First, we have launched our very own YouTube channel at Randomesque. So you can go to @Randomesque on YouTube and you will see all of our shows. We've migrated them over from Spotify to YouTube, but you can watch both. They're on both channels. If you want to go out and look at YouTube or Spotify, whatever you like to use for, downloading your podcasts, we're in both venues now. So we have our own channel.
I didn't know podcasts were migratory.
Yeah, they are. They're very migratory.
Okay,
yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I obviously probably made that up. So I like to call it migrate.
I get it. I
things
get
that sound cool.
It does sound cool.
Yeah. And next, we have a new residency.
A new presidency?
No. A new residency. Not a presidency.
A residency.
Yes, a residency. You want to tell them what it is?
Yes. Now at the our last podcast of every month, last Wednesday of every month, we will be doing our residency live from 16 Prospect in Westfield, New Jersey, a place that where everyone knows your name. And
very much.
Owners Jim and Chris Boyle.
Tim,
Chris Boyle.
Chris Boyle.
There are some who call me Tim.
No, I'm Jim.
Yeah, I know you're Jim.
Some would call me Tim.
So we're going to have our residency there. It's going to be live. People can come in, hang out with us, and get some good food, some good beverages, and hang.
We're kind of like the Billy Joel of podcasts now. We have a residency.
We are. I think Tim,
not a presidency.
I know. I think Tim's going to put banners like they did with Billy Joel up in the garden.
Oh yeah, it'll be like
banners.
Like
our 100th show. Yeah,
100th show. We should do that. I think I know someone that can make those.
Is he a good printer?
He is. So the Randomesque podcast will be taping live in front of a studio audience at 16 Prospect Wine Bar and Bistro. You can visit them at Westfield, 16prospect.com. That's 16prospect.com. Or you can visit them in downtown Westfield is what I meant to say. We'll begin the first show on Wednesday, January 29th. It'll be sometime in the early evening. We'll set that time. So, we'd ask that the Randommies just order up some beverages and some dinner at 16 and watch our variety show podcast and enjoy. It can become a random night out. And I'm sure that there will be, some appearances by TP Bob and I would say Moonificent. Obviously, we'll have Paulie in the house.
And even some some of our local Westfield people there.
Yeah, we're going to be talking with Chris Boyle, the owner, on that first podcast. He and I have talked about the topic of conversation, and we're working on that. So, this will kick off our Random-esque podcast monthly residence at 16 Prospect on the 29th of January, where we will tape live in front of a studio audience. And again, as Paul said, as I'm saying, the last Wednesday evening of each month. So please join us for some random fun at 16 Prospect. And it's going to be a blast. We're really excited about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's, for us, for people who don't know about 16 Prospect, that's a place where you can walk in at any time, and Jim or I, or both of us together, walk in, and we will always see someone we know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Always see someone we know.
Paul calls it our cheers.
Our cheers.
For sure. And 16 Prospect is now a sponsor of the show as well. So speaking of sponsors, let's talk about our sponsors. Again, more on communication, because we need to communicate about the sponsors to keep the show going.
And I just want to add this.
Absolutely.
We are, speaking of 16 Prospect and cheers, we're sorry that one of our favorite visitors, 16 Prospect and dear friends, Les Trent, has moved out of Westfield.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna miss him. But he's in Philly.
He's in Philly though.
He's in Philly. He'll be be making his appearances up here, and I think one day we all have to drive down there. 10 of us.
Yeah, I'm sure Les will be up for that.
Hey, Gwen, how are you?
Yeah. Let's go get some cheesesteaks.
But Les is
awesome. Yeah.
Great friend of ours.
Yeah,
and,
good friend of the show.
Good friend of the show, and good friend of ours in general.
And in fact, we're getting together with the gang on the next show, and we're going to be making up some pizzas as well at Out of Hand Pizza with our friend Burham. So,
he's your friend.
Oh, he's my friend. Okay. I thought it was yours.
Just kidding. We love Burham.
Anyway, let's talk about our sponsors. So we have our new sponsor, 16 Prospect Restaurant in downtown Westfield. Again, as Paulie likes to say, it's our cheers. Incredible food, incredible beverages.
Great people,
great atmosphere,
live
great
music.
Live music. Most of the nights of the week, there's live music. It's awesome, and an incredible menu that they have. Tim and Chris both went to culinary schools, and they have a very unique, eclectic menu from pizza, burgers to linguine and clams. And I recently, we were there for Christmas Eve for dinner, and I had the linguine and clams with red sauce, and that was tremendous. They also have an incredible wine list, and actually a wine that I was really surprised that they carried, which is Klein. And it was a red Zinfandel, and it was out of Contra Costa County in California, which is where Barb and I lived in the East Bay. So
Wait, you lived in the East Bay?
I lived in the East Bay of San Francisco.
Wow, I never knew that.
No, not in the actual East Bay.
No, I know that. I know, not in the Bay.
No, but the name of the county, like here in Union, is called Contra Costa, or against the coast, basically, or away from the coast. And so Contra Costa County, and I was really surprised because that's how much the wine industry has developed in the Bay Area. The fact that it's now even coming out of Contra Costa, which wasn't known for being a wine region. And
the one thing also, I think it's a relatively new dish there that I had. We're talking about the entire menu. Was chicken pot pie with mashed potatoes.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
I think that is new.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
And then Barb and I also have had their charcuterie, which is amazing as well.
It's just a great place.
It's a great place.
And I hope in the summer they can put the tables and chairs and everything outside like they did during the pandemic.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a fun place.
But we'll talk about them more later in the show. So we're going to move on to Paulie's favorite place, Florham Park Dental Excellence.
a newly remodeled,
Dr. Paul Banks here.
a newly remodeled with a lot more technology
You-
Florham Park Dental
You
Excellence.
do look remodeled. Did they
I am.
remodel you?
They did.
They did. They remodeled you. You look great.
Thank you.
No, you really do.
Thank
Honestly. So you can visit them at FlorhamParkDental.com. That's FlorhamParkDental.com. And then our friends over at Minuteman Press and Clark. We're your branding and printing partners. All of the swag and everything you see here on the desk behind us, on the microphones, all produced by Minuteman Press, as well as the apparel, whether that's embroidery work like this or screen printed work. We can do that as well. So you can visit us at nj213.minuteman.com. That's nj213.minuteman.com, and on with the
Shoo! Well, today, Randomies, we have a special guest. We have the wife of TP Bob. We have the one, thank God, the only, Bobbette. Bobbette, it is, thank you for making the trip up here from Philly.
Lilies. I love lilies. It's so nice to make your acquaintance, Paulie.
Well, thank you.
My husband Bob speaks so highly of you.
Oh, that's interesting.
And your cheap advice, even though I do think it is cheap advice.
It's free.
Well, it's...
And I think it's quality advice.
It's cheap.
It all comes down to how you interpret the advice. See, I can give you good advice, but if you don't interpret it how it should be interpreted, well, then it all of a sudden becomes bad advice.
Well, that's the way that I interpret it, Paulie. I see it as cheap advice.
Well, that says a lot about...
Albeit good advice.
Says a lot about your intellect. But
And it has changed the personality of Bob, TP Bob, as you call him, because, he would never seek advice in the past. So at least he's going to somebody for something at this point.
Well, last time he came in, he wore that toilet paper like Flavor Flav wears his clock.
He sure did, and he was so proud to wear that for you because now he is a representative of Scott Paper down in Philadelphia.
And a randomie.
He is a randomie.
A randomie, a VIP random.
He is part of the Kmart Rack Pack. And he is so proud to be the head of the Rack Pack. So thank you, Paulie. I do appreciate it, even though it's cheap advice. Okay, so I did throw his Dennis Rodman collection out the window, but he deserved it.
You know what? I did go into Kmart Rack, and I was surprised. I saw a box. It had like plastic cutlery. You buy.
Yes.
I opened it up, and there was underwear.
There was underwear in
there.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. Some probably just made a joke. Well, you find clothes around there like missiles. People it's all over. The clothes are all over the floor.
Which, may I ask, which Kmart Rack did you shop at, Paulie?
The one on Bustleton Avenue.
Oh, the one on Bustleton. Is that over by the Galaxy arcade?
Close by.
Yeah.
Okay. Close by. Near Tiffany's Diner.
And just to give a little bit of preamble here, Paulie, that Jim, he thinks he's so important.
Yeah, he does.
He just thinks he's so important.
Well, where is Jim? Oh, he's on a conference call
Jim's
now.
another conference call. Like, who the heck is he conferencing with? Is he, going for the Jets job or something?
No, he'd be off the phone by now. And, I would like to challenge a genealogist and see, maybe you guys kind of look alike. You think you and Jim on some level are related?
Well, we may be down the road. We are both Irish. I wish I had a drink.
I gotta get new friends.
Well, anyway, Paulie, before we get into the Yo Paulies, which I'm going to sit in and read for in Jim's place in his stupid absence, since he's on that confounded conference call, like the confounded bridge.
Where's that confounded bridge?
I never understood that lyric, but anyway. So Bob and I, over the holiday, we thought really long and hard about the gift that we'd like to bestow upon you. Well, Paulie, here it is. This is a gift of Bob and I. We figure it, can work for your Hanukkah gift and probably take care of about 6 of the days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow.
Multicolored toilet paper.
Yes, Bob and I. So now that he works over at Scott Paper down by the airport, we were able to get this for you from the gift shop over there.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Is this all like, if you wet it, will it run? Like, will my tuchus be?
You might.
Will my tuchus? Will my tuchus be blue?
Your tuchus might look like a tie-dye shirt when you're done.
The rainbow. The rainbow tuchus.
Let's hope to God it doesn't run.
Telling you.
Do you like your gift? Which of the colored toilet paper will you use first, Paulie?
Green, go birds.
Oh yeah, that'll be a nice one. You can use that this weekend. Hopefully we don't need a lot of it.
Blue when I'm,
You can go for
blue.
the Yankees.
Can I go for what?
That could be for the Yankees. The blue. Red for the Phillies. Oh, and orange for your Orioles.
Flyers.
There, Paulie.
Flyers.
And the Flyers.
And but you know what? When I'm wiping, I'm probably not going to be thinking about the colored toilet paper and make that corration.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just thinking
I don't think you'll be thinking much about the color of the TP. However,
no, I think
I do have a little bit of a wrinkle in your over/under discussion.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Well, you were always the.
We had this conversation the other night at a local restaurant.
You were the under.
It came up that, okay, what if you did this? What if white toilet paper goes over and the colored toilet paper goes under? Would that settle the dispute?
That makes absolutely 0 sense. Because it has color, it changes the rotation?
Yes, that becomes the under, and the white stays as the over.
I'm just.
You don't like that theory?
I'm just still thinking what color my tuchus is going to be.
We discussed this ad nauseum the other night.
Did you feel?
And I actually thought this was a good compromise. Maybe we could take that over to the war that's going on and give them some colored toilet paper to settle their disputes.
Anyway, what else you got?
Well, I guess we should get into some Yo Paulie.
Oh, are you going to read the Yo Paulies?
Yeah, I'm going to read the Yo Paulie because that Jim thinks he's so important.
He's so important?
Important?
Oh, important. It's so important. Well,
it is really nice to meet you in person, Paulie.
Yes, absolutely it is.
You are really a nice man.
Well, thank you.
Even though you give cheap advice.
Oh, okay.
Okay. From the first brand dummy. Are you ready, Paulie?
I was born ready. Not ready for this, but let's go.
Every time I make a sandwich, it falls apart after one bite. Am I or the sandwich cursed? Should I just accept that it's going to fail and carry a knife and fork with me? Or is there a way to perfect my sandwich making skills? Thank you, sandwich sufferer in Sandwich, Massachusetts.
I hope we can have subtitles for this. Well,
how are your ears doing?
Oh, they're
Are you okay?
You're hitting the Incus Malleus and Stapes at full force, man.
Well, that was the other day when the three wise men stopped by on Little Christmas.
Yeah, but they never healed.
No.
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 So, first of all, how much stuff, I'm sorry, dear sandwich, how much stuff are you putting in that sandwich? Is it stuff like George Costanza's wallet? I mean, is it bigger than the opening of your mouth?
It could be like the deli over there in New York.
Do you remember Greenman's in Philly, home of the real hoagie?
I don't.
Oh, man, they've been...
I'm fairly new to Philly, Paulie.
Oh, okay. So, the first thing I would start with, do you put a binder on it? Do you put mayo? Do you put mustard? Do you put Russian dressing? Do you use a roll or bread that can accommodate this amount of food? I mean, these are all things you have to think about. Knife and fork, I don't know. I don't think that...
Well, that gave me... gave me an idea earlier when you were over at Kmart Rack. Remember, they sold cutlery over there with underwear in it.
No. There was no... It was a cutlery box.
Oh, it was a cutlery box with underwear in it.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
I found it in the brassiere section. Don't ask me why I was there.
I'm not sure
I was
about
there.
that, Paulie.
I was there. Maybe I was looking for a gift for you.
I don't know what you... Yeah, I was over there. Oh, yeah, I meant to show you. I got this beautiful... Look at this over there. The Mrs. Roper wear over at the Kmart Rack.
That is fantastic.
That I picked up over the holidays and got it on a really good dime.
Do you remember?
And I just want to tell you one other thing, Paulie. You're going to love this. This is made by a French company. It's called Gildan. Gildan. It's a French company that supplies this to the United States. Have you ever heard of Gildan?
I have not. I've not heard that.
You hear it? Look at the tag. See, there's the tag.
Gildan.
No, it's Gildan, right?
Gildan.
Gildan.
You can pronounce it how you like. If it
I would say it looks like it was manufactured by the French.
I don't know. I just remember that brought memories back from in the Roosevelt Mall. They had this place called T-Shirt Revolution where they would get the T-shirt, they would do the iron on the T-shirts. But anyway.
But don't you like my Mrs. Roper wear?
It's happening.
And then, Bob's got his collection over there with the Dennis Rodman. This is the one he picked up on Black Friday. Got a really good deal on the turkey. And he really wants you to pardon the turkey next year.
I'm sorry, people. I just can't. But anyway, so back to Mr. Sandwich or Sandwich. My advice, use a roll or bread that can accommodate, well, he's whatever it is.
Maybe he is in Massachusetts.
Right.
You should use the appropriate term. It's a bulky.
If you decide to go that route, yes. And
I'm here to school you, Paulie.
Yeah, good try. My advice is use that roll that can accommodate the amount of food. And, like I said, use the binder. Use mayo, mustard, whatever. And don't make it bigger than your mouth.
Oh.
One more thing. How often do you eat sandwiches this size? I mean...
Maybe it's Dagwood Bumstead.
Well, possibly, but I have to speak with Blondie then.
Yeah, you need to speak with Blondie.
But
I'm obviously not a Blondie.
But just for your thought, just for another thought, maybe you should cut back on your caloric intake and check out some gyms. They're giving New Year's memberships. You get New Year's discounts because, I don't know how often you're eating these, but you got issues, dude.
Go to Kmart Rack and get yourself some cutlery wear. Okay, next, Paulie. Like many others, one of my New Year's resolutions is to lose weight. Is that the other guy that we just talked to? I walked by the mirror and said to myself,
you can lose weight?
How?
Get rid of your husband.
That would get rid of a lot of weight.
That would.
Maybe the Mrs. Roper wear all stuff I wear.
I'll tell you though, if you ever do that and you go on those dating sites, you're probably not going to get anyone.
Everybody,
You
what do you swipe right or left?
You weren't that kind of swipe at all.
They probably wouldn't swipe at all.
No, but people aren't going to look at you, and they're going to probably just take the picture, make it bigger, put it on their dartboard.
What I would probably do is use those toilet paper rolls for earrings to attract people.
Yeah, that's hot.
That could be somebody, what they like in the person, that they like to use colored toilet paper.
Okay, good luck with that. So anyway, let's carry on.
So I walk by. They're trying to lose weight. I walked by the mirror and said to myself, "Is this what a human potato looks like?" I have the same resolution every year. But I never stick to a program or diet. I need your advice desperately. Thank you. Wait on. Wait on, wait off. Cookie down in Oklahoma sounds like clap on, clap off.
Or wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off.
Dear wait on, wait off.
Yes.
Well, maybe you shouldn't walk by a mirror.
Yeah.
For starters. And, go by to, take Bobbette's suggestion and go to Kmart Rack and get some XXL clothes.
Yeah.
And
they have a lovely collection over there. Yeah. If you're a man, they have the Dennis Rodman. If you're a woman, you have Mrs. Roper collection.
Right, and you get
a lot to choose from.
Oh, I'm sure. They look such quality.
Oh, it reeks of quality.
But it wouldn't be a bad idea to seek the advice of a nutritionist, get on an exercise program. Perhaps if you stop eating like a cow, that would help also. Cutting back to 6 small meals would be helpful instead of the 6 large ones. I mean, everyone doesn't need to try a different tasty cake 6 times a day.
No, they certainly don't.
So I think you have to sit there, you look in the mirror, see if you don't like what you see, change it. Make it happen.
And I have a slogan for them. Why have a dud spud when yous can have a greater potato?
Okay, that was off on a tangent.
Well, you said that they look like a potato.
I didn't say it. They did.
They said they look like a potato.
I don't put.
Aren't we talking about potatoes?
I don't put food in their mouth.
You
or
don't?
words in their mouth. No, but
you put your dental instruments there.
I do, but that doesn't. They don't eat them. I have never had anyone eat a dental instrument.
Hopefully that guy from James Bond with the steel teeth isn't one of your clients.
Jaws.
He might eat your instruments.
He might eat me.
He might.
But that's it. And also with this, if you ever run into this weight on, weight off, don't put your hands and feet near them while you're eating.
It's like feeding time at the zoo.
Yeah,
Stay away from the animals.
So I think you got to make a conscious decision to do this yourself. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just got to have to want to do it. So
I think that's just lovely advice. I will have to give it to you. You really do give some good advice.
And also,
Bob's completely wrong. I'm going to go back and tell him, and I'm sure he'll be making a visit.
Oh, great. Now but it looks like these two.
You're going to be hot.
These two Paulies kind of have a lot of similarities. Both of you, both of the people here.
Both of yous.
Both of yous. Yous.
Both of yous.
But anyway,
I did pick up the Philly lingo at the Wawa.
But you both need to get your stuff together, man.
And you drink a lot of water.
Well, you drink a lot of water, but not if you gotta do more than just that.
Just don't drink Schuylkill water.
You do not drink Schuylkill water or Delaware River water, or any water for that fact that isn't coming from the faucet with a filter.
A filter, which you can buy over at Kmart Rack.
Oh, you can buy it at Wawa too, and 7-Eleven, and you can buy it at the Acme.
At the Acme.
At the Acme.
Well, Paulie, it was really nice meeting with you, and I hope you enjoy your colored toilet paper.
But I'll tell you, something I gotta say, that wardrobe is happening, man.
Thank you.
Happening.
Again, all in Kmart rack and all on the cheap.
Well, you have the this schmata.
Yeah.
Looks like the Jimi Hendrix bandana that he would wear. Not exactly the same colors, but
This is basically what Bob's clothes look like sprawled all over the lawn.
are you proud of how you dress?
I am so proud of how I dress. I am woman, hear me roar, and think there's too much to ignore, or whatever the words.
I got nothing else.
I bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan.
I got nothing else for you, Bobbette. But thank you for the.
Well, thank you for having me, and
thank
say
you.
hi to Jim for me.
I will.
And his silly conference calls.
And thank you for the multicolored
Hopefully,
toilet paper. You'll make my tuchus look like a rainbow.
hopefully your tuchus doesn't look like a tie-dye shirt.
No, I hope
over
not.
at the rack.
Well, that would fit in if I go to a Grateful Dead concert.
Yeah, sure would. Anyhow.
Well, Babette.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God,
Thank
she
you.
has man hands. Babette has man hands.
I do not.
You have man hands. Oh my goodness.
I do not.
Yes, you do. Anyway, everybody, let's.
You have bad head.
Well, yeah, that's true. Anyway, let's thank Bobbette
Thank you.
for making her guest appearance. And I would say to you, it's been real, it's been nice, but it hasn't been real nice.
No.
So,
Well, it's been nice meeting you, Tim
yes.
Paulie.
Oh, thank you.
And Bob says hi.
Tell him I say hi.
And he'll see you soon.
Oh, great.
All right. Bye, Paulie.
Bye-bye.
What a segment that was.
Man,
That was unbelievable that Bobbette sat in with you, Paulie.
I can't believe I sat through that entire thing.
I can't either. Nobody.
And I got to watch it.
Yeah, Barb had to
did.
sit through it too.
It was an eye-opener.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it was.
Eye opener. It was a nose opener. I don't know if you smelled what she was wearing. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Oh, my. She probably bought her perfume at the Kmart rack.
But you know what I was interested in was her hair.
Did you like her hair?
I liked her hair. Look,
Yeah.
it matches the
Oh,
color
it
of my
does.
shawl
Yeah.
somewhere here. Yeah?
It
Well,
does,
maybe she-
And
actually.
her glasses.
Oh, those glasses
They were
Well, you know, Bobbette goes over to that Kmart rack, and that's where she gets everything.
Oh, and I forgot
and
the
her
French
husband,
fashion.
TP Bob. What's that?
The French fashion.
The French fashion.
Of the
T-shirt, the Roper T-shirt.
The
T-shirt.
Gildon.
Yeah. Oh,
It's a
so
Gildon.
good.
It's very French.
Very French.
We love it, Mrs. Roper.
It's as French as fries.
Mrs. Roper. Anyway.
Good intonation.
We are here with none other than our good friend, Barbara Maninno.
Hello, all.
We didn't introduce
How are
you, Barb. Sorry. So we should introduce who we are talking with.
And who are you?
What's that? What did she say?
Who are you?
I have no idea. I was on a conference call, so I missed the whole Bobbette thing.
Oh,
so-
you can watch it.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
It's worth a watch.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I heard that you have a tie-dye tuchus now.
No, only if I use the toilet paper.
Only if you use the toilet paper, okay. Don't eat the toilet paper.
Can you imagine that this is what they're talking about?
Yeah, but you have to talk up.
Talk up.
This
Can
isn't-
you imagine this is what they're talking about?
This is
Thank
all-
you,
this-
because-
it's all random S.
Because, Barbara, we're not an E.F. Hutton commercial.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right.
When E.F. Hutton talks, people
Everybody
listen.
listens.
Look, Paulie's listening. See? Anyway,
More than I do at home.
Anyway, Barbara Maninno is an accomplished writer, and I know that for sure. Speaker and consultant specializing in storytelling for businesses and personal brands. With her career spanning journalism, corporate communications, and content strategy, Barbara has a deep understanding of crafting compelling narratives. She certainly does. That engage audiences and drive results. Through her work, she helps clients articulate their unique value propositions, enhance brand presence, and foster meaningful connections with their target markets. Her expertise has earned her accolades as a thought leader in storytelling, branding, and audience engagement. And I also just want to add that, so recently, Paulie, I wrote an article for Tap Into in Westfield. It was on the art of networking.
I saw
So
it.
I wrote it out. What's that?
I saw it.
You saw it, yeah. Well, guess who edited that article for
None
me?
other than Barbara
Barbara
Maninno.
Maninno, yeah. So I want to give her credit. Incredible editing skills. She made my words explode off the page. It was way more impactful than when I had originally written it. And you realize the value of someone with editing skills and communication skills like Barbara, why they are such a value to your brand and your corporate communication. So that's why we want to have Barb on today. She's an incredible person, human being, great speaker. We've been in various meetings together. Barb's also on the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors with me as well. And so we kind of interact throughout each other's lives. And her son, Keith, he did major work here in our house. Incredible job that Keith did.
What does Keith do?
Keith is a general contractor.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes.
And you want to know
absolutely.
something really cool about Keith? You know who he knows?
Oh, I know this story he's going to tell about my Keith.
So who does he tell Paulie who he knows?
He knows Lenny Kravitz.
Really?
He used to work with Lenny Kravitz, and
They have like a 30-year friendship, right?
Wow, that's really cool.
They used to double date, all of it. And just recently, Lenny was in Atlantic City, and Keith went down to see him, and they got to reconnect in person.
Yeah,
And
Keith showed us
very
the
cool.
photos
Yeah.
when he was here
That's
working
cool.
on our house.
It was very
really
rock
cool.
and roll.
Let's just put it this way: the Menino family is very talented.
He
Super
also,
talented
I see
family.
That. I see that.
Because Keith is in my wife Barb's BNI group. Barb and I are in each other's BNI group periodically when we sub for each other,
Yep.
right? So, anyway,
And I just want to say one other thing about Mike Keith. He is also a voiceover artist.
I didn't know that. Oh,
yes,
really?
Yes. So he does commercials that you can hear on the radio. It's kind of fun to be his mom and be listening sometime randomesquely.
maybe he can help me with Bobbette.
I was just gonna.
There you go.
I think we need another voiceover for that. That is supposed to be Katharine Hepburn, but
Yes.
I'm not sure it's so Katharine Hepburn.
It was representative.
It's more Katharine Hepburny.
You were in the ballpark.
I like that.
You were in the ballpark.
E
With the Y.
with the Y, Bernie.
With the Y at the end.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what we're here to talk about today is communication and marketing. Barb and I both have multiple years in this avenue. Barb is the master of it all, though, with the marketing, corporate communications, and all that she's done throughout her career. So we thought it would be a great topic for the Randomies starting out the new year to begin to put together your strategies for 2025 from a marketing and communication point of view. So with that, I'll let Paulie open up the questioning.
Yeah. How did you discover your passion for storytelling and how it has an impact on business?
So it's very interesting because corporately, I have always written content, always written stories, also journalistically, mainstream press, global financial press. But when I went out on my own as an independent contractor, I got the flutters because I thought, how am I going to compete in this marketplace? Every day I was getting emails from gurus, and they all seemed to have MBAs from Harvard. And I thought, what am I going to do? How am I going to measure up? But then simultaneously, this idea of story was taking hold as a business platform. And it occurred to me, after all that fretting, that I had the best tool of all, because I had always written content. I had always written stories. They'd won awards even. And so I realized that I knew how to create stories, I knew how to find them, and I knew how to deliver them well on paper, online, and on stage.
And may I add in that you also have another distinction that a lot of people don't have, and that's a personal touch. You just you speak from the heart. You get to the heart of the matter with the individual that you're working with. I was like, we were having a conversation about the book that I was supposed to write, but because of this podcast, I got sidetracked a little. But Barb and I and my wife we were at Sweetwater's in Westfield and we had a couple glasses of wine that we talked over. And man, Barb is just an amazing conversationalist. And, you can see how using her service can really enhance your marketing and communication.
It's just such a shame she's so shy.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, really.
My gosh, like all of us.
And then we're so shy for her.
Yeah.
I used to be shy growing up.
Really?
In the early
What,
days.
shy of 5 feet?
Yeah. No, in the very early days. But,
The interesting thing, because I am definitely an outwardly extrovert,
yes,
obviously.
you are.
However, I thought about this recently. When I played sports growing up, I didn't talk to anybody. I just played the sport. I just didn't communicate.
No trash talking?
What's that?
No trash
No
talking?
trash talking. No, I was really into it. I just wanted to play soccer or baseball. Particularly loved baseball, but I was kind of a little bit shy in that world. So,
Isn't it funny how people evolve? And honestly, that's part of the excitement of what I do, because I feel that story is part of personal evolution, and it makes people feel empowered.
you do a great job. I'm going to ask you the next question.
Okay.
So can you share an example of a brand transformation you were involved in through storytelling?
Yeah. So that is primarily what I do. People either come to me because they want to fully rebrand or they want to elevate their brand. And I'm also oftentimes involved with startups and corporately with new product launches, campaign launches, and so forth. Recently, I'd like to talk about two clients who
Sure.
I think are significant for understanding how important it is to have content be a vital component of your brand. Interestingly, they're both in healthcare. They do different things, but they're both in healthcare. And the first person had an established, successful business that she'd had for several years, but her concern was getting clients. And she felt she didn't have the right language of her brand, that she wasn't compelling enough, that she wasn't telling the right stories.
Okay.
And so, of course, part of my process is a deep dive interview. And I heard many stories about several of her clients.
Okay. It's like our conversation that we had at Sweetwater's.
Exactly.
It was a great conversation.
Yeah, so from her kind of flatline, bullet-pointed description of how she helped this client, I morphed it into a story with a lean-in opener, pregnant pauses, and a conclusion that included a call to action. And she said, brilliant, which
Yes.
I loved, not for my ego, but because it lights me up.
Well, you helped
when
somebody.
my clients
You
are
helped
happy.
somebody.
Exactly. And
you did the same thing for my writing in Tap Into.
That's so nice to hear.
No, absolutely. It was the same impact.
And she came back to me and said, "You'll never believe, but in 1 week, I've taken on 2 new high-end clients
Awesome.
because I used your technique." So that transferred into more dollars.
Awesome.
The other one I want to talk about is slightly different. He's newer in business. This person is newer in business.
And that's a whole other angle. You know, I've been on both sides. I've been in mature brands with McDonald's. I've been in startups with E-Trade, you know, and it's a way different conversation.
It is way different. He had been in the field for a while, but he was relatively new in starting his business. He knew he was good. He knew
Was he in the same?
had a
He started a
differentiator.
new business in the same field.
Yes, but he was differentiated. He's actually a physical therapist,
Okay.
and he does more with physical therapy, provides more personalized service, explains and understand that you may have a pain in the shoulder, but it may be manifesting someplace else. And his whole premise is identifying the root cause and working on a person and evaluating and reevaluating till he gets their movement right so that they can continue to move effectively and perform in life or even in performance sports
Barbara,
to the level
I'm sorry,
that they want.
Did you ever read a book called The Blue Ocean?
Years ago when I was
That's
in marketing
exactly.
and corporate
That's
life.
exactly. Yeah. What. You know, it seems like what you're talking about is you have so many businesses that are in that red ocean, and what gets you to differentiate yourself puts you in the blue ocean. So you may have the same business, but being different in that puts you in that category of blue ocean where you have more creative, and your tendency is to be able to generate more business because you're doing that. That's a fascinating book. I mean, it was a lot of it was kind of hard to sift through because there was a lot, you know, just it was boring to read. But the basic gist of the book was what you're saying is taking a business that's have a lot of common denominators and figuring out what's going to differentiate yourself to develop your business.
So, you know, for years we've all been hearing about Simon Sinek, who I'm a great Simon Sinek fan, and the why. This year, I'm going to be talking more about the how, because to your point, in one industry, there can be many people that have the same why, but it's the how that differentiates them. It's how they deliver on that why that puts their footprint on the service. And this particular person knew he had that edge, but he needed the vocabulary and the language of his brand and a compelling way to express it. And he kind of even had to elevate his belief in himself, in what he was doing.
Okay.
Because so much is based on believing in yourself.
I think that sounds pretty cool.
And here, I have an interesting thing for me, and I'd be really interested in hearing your take on this. From what I do for a living, being a dentist, you've got that big hurdle. So yes, you can have that discussion with people, but ultimately, it comes down to, do you take my insurance? So you have to have, with your discussion, and this is what I'm working on, and it's hard, is to how to tell people that, yes, we don't participate in your insurance, but we're better. But there are a lot of people that just focus on, and we've done this to ourselves over a year as a business, is the people going because they participate, not knowing that, and I'm trying to say this, dental insurance is basically, it's a gift certificate. But you can talked to some people, and
True. That's
but it's
true.
That's a good way to put it.
but
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way, but
it's very
or a gift card or whatever.
right. It's very frustrating.
It is
one of the
true
more
though. You
frustrating
can't
things.
go to a place if they don't take your
No.
benefits.
You can go.
Yeah,
You
can
just-
elect to go.
You
yeah.
can elect to go, but you will not be able to use that benefit. So it's always the, how do you tell people? People say a dentist is a dentist is a dentist. You participate, I'm going to go to you. You don't participate. You may be the best dentist in the world, but you don't participate in my insurance. And that is a huge hurdle for someone when you're speaking to someone in that profession to overcome.
It is indeed.
It was a monetary one, sure.
So it goes back to, are people just going to be, and I'm not denigrating a concern with price, but are people just going to be concerned with price? Or are they going to recognize the value of what you offer? And also, aren't they going to want to work with a company or a service provider that they truly like?
Value in my profession is very hard to convey, and I may go off on a little tangent here. What we've done is we remodeled our office, and now we have on our software we have a lot of AI, and when you put X-rays up on the screen, it shows you where there's decay, where there's bone loss, so people can actually see that. And that helps, and that's another aid we use.
There was a lot of decay with Bobbette. I don't think you need AI for that.
No, but seriously, but that's one of the things that are helping us to kind of get over that hump, to really educate people. But if my tooth isn't hurting, doc, why am I doing something? And that's a real difficult thing. And the same thing with the insurance. It's when you're having these discussions with people that are in corporate, you don't have that obstacle. You have it in dentistry.
Oh, absolutely. But it isn't, I'm not a healthcare expert, but having this particular client and both of these clients being in healthcare and having written on healthcare extensively and worked for some healthcare companies myself, it isn't always about the pain.
No.
It's about maintaining and elevating a quality to prevent yourself from injury and having more pain and needing the next surgery, or in your case, perhaps a more grave or more extensive dental work.
Do you know how many times I have that discussion with patients? But doc, it's not bothering me.
Yeah, that isn't always the answer.
I know.
What did you say?
That isn't always the answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to the final question here and start wrapping this up. What a great conversation has been had here. And that is, how can the Rand Dummies set up their communication marketing plan for the new year 2025? What are your recommendations, thoughts, and suggestions?
So that's actually a very interesting question, because this is the time of the year and all the content gurus are out telling people what's big this year. So number one, when I think of the Rand Dummies and the Random-esque podcast,
Sure.
I think of two things. I think of
Bob and Bobbette.
Jim and Paul.
Jim and Paul. I actually think of the book The Old Neighborhood, because you guys are both from Philly. You had your father on once.
Yes.
There's a little nostalgia
thank you.
there, and you're good friends now.
Yes.
And there's humor, and there's I also think of Seinfeld, because it's kind of a show. In their case, it was about nothing. In your case, it's about randomness.
Exactly.
Well,
right?
we're going to use the comment of the George Costanza wallet.
Oh, yes, that's right. The comment of the George Costanza wallet. So, I think that's wonderful. And that, to me, is a signature story. So one of the things I'd like you to do is put some ideas on paper. What brought you two together? What was the
Beer.
brainchild of
Beer.
this podcast?
Beer.
It's always beer and
It'll-
donuts, probably.
It'll do it every time.
Beer.
Folks.
No, it was
It'll
actually
do it.
16.
Beer at 16 Prospect.
16
And that's where
Prospect,
that's
yeah.
where I met you for the first time.
That's right.
We met for lunch.
We absolutely did, and I'm a patron of 16 Prospect too. And that's so funny that you mentioned that because I feel the collegiality of the place.
That's actually where
whenever
Paul and I
go
met.
there.
He was holding an event at 16, and I attended it, and we figured out we were both from Northeast Philly, and we became really good friends.
Isn't that
fast.
funny? I
Very good
think
friends.
that's a beautiful thing. That's serendipitous. And so I think you need some backstory. And then, of
And
course,
this is what you'd say to the randomies too. Like that's what they should do too, right?
yeah,
The people out in randomie land.
out in Randomie land, there's always something, there's always subtext.
It sounds so
something,
wonderful coming out of you.
something deeper, right? And so that's real, and there's all the mechanics. You should be asking your audience, what do they love about your podcast? What works, what doesn't, et cetera, and change anything or add components. But above all, this backstory, because here's what's big this year in communication: emotion, humanity. It's been there for a long time now, especially since storytelling came into the picture. But this year, it's on steroids. You got AI playing a hand.
You sure do.
And to compensate,
AI is amazing.
Amazing. But as a complement to that, use AI as a tool to get to things faster. But use humanity. Use that light up spirit. Use the how of your differentiator to show people what's in it for them.
Yep.
That you understand their pain, that you understand their hopes and dreams, and that you are the solution to make that happen. It is always beyond the transaction. It's about the heart. It's about emotion.
And I'm sorry, Barb, when I started doing all these contests on the Westfield Facebook page, giving away gift cards to businesses, nobody knew I was a dentist. I never said I was. I just got people to know me for me before they got to know me for what I do.
It's funny that you say that because this is kind of like when we knew each other in the last year or so. I would say, oh, do you know that, do you know Dr. Paul Banks in Westfield? And they would be like, no. I'm like, oh, do you know the guy that talks on the Westfield pages and gives out prizes? Like, oh yeah, I know Paul. They knew it right away. Like the branding was amazing. How they knew you from those pages, and that's incredible branding on your part.
Yeah, it does a lot. I mean, I'm surprised that I've been able to get a lot of people travel from Westfield to Florham Park to come to my dental office.
Well, a lot.
Because they want to feel comfortable. You have to know, like, and trust somebody.
Yeah.
As we all talk about. So, anyway, randommies. It's 2025. You should be out there setting up your communication goals, as Barb talked about. Have that backstory of what's your business about, what's your differentiator, and the how. That seems to be the big word this year, is the how of it that Barb's talking about. And certainly, if you want to reach out to Barb and have her work with you on your corporate communications marketing plan, how you present yourself, either through words or through actions in speech, how do they get a hold of you, Barb?
So I certainly am reachable through my email, which is barbara@barbaramanino.com. You can also get
And there's two N's in there.
There's two N's in the middle and one at the end.
I always look back and I'm like, is there two N's?
Yeah, I know. Even some good friends of ours do
What's the
that.
problem trying to play Scrabble using her name? I only get two N's.
That's right.
It's a double word score, though, right?
It could be.
My calendar link is is BarbaraMM.com/chat. And my
Chat, did you say?
chat.
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 Barbara
No, BarbaraMM.
Barbara
.com /
Barbara
chat.
Gotcha. Okay.
I would have written it down.
BarbaraMM.com/chat.
And
Perfect.
you know, I'm on
That works.
LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook.
Is that because MM is like you like M&Ms?
I never thought of it that way.
Just
Plain or peanut?
Plain.
Yeah.
Plain.
Actually, I have some plain in the cupboard over there.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I had some last night because Barb was using them for a mix that she put together at the holidays.
That sounds good.
You never thought of that? You're MM. You're an M&M.
I never actually thought about that, but now you've brought up.
But you like plain better than peanut.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And you know, you can.
Dummies want to know.
That's right. Ram Dummies want to know. You can always reach me through a direct message on Facebook.
LinkedIn, right?
Also on LinkedIn.
Are you on Instagram?
I am, as babswithaz.com. I'm going to change that.
I love it.
Don't ask.
Anyway,
Man,
Barb.
she's nationwide.
Yeah, she is.
She's
everywhere.
International.
Barb, you've been a lovely guest, and as a part of being a lovely guest, you get a lovely gift. A random ass podcast candle. And if you turn it over, you can learn what it is. I always
Hand
forget.
poured in the USA.
It's called
Lucky Clover.
That is the brand Wicked Good that we use for the Random S candles. And you get a special Random S candle
love it.
that you can burn at home and
I'm so excited.
have a glass of wine.
Just don't put it near the drapes.
I know. You know, I saw this sitting in front of me as I took my seat, and I thought, well, that's an odd place for a candle. Little did I know it was going to be mine.
It was a prop
I'm
and it
thrilled.
was a gift.
Yeah. I love it.
It
Thank
doubled
you,
as
guys.
everything. Anyway, thank
Ram
you so much for
Dummies.
being
Thanks,
on the
Barb.
show. You were
Thank
terrific.
you.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen, Random is the ubiquitous Barbara Maninno.
MM.
And then,
Oh, it's the mystical and magical Jimmie the Moonificent. Moonificent sees all, knows all, and he is a psychic of the most of epic proportions. Now, without further ado, I foist upon you Moonificent.
Silence, please. Silence. Oh, I just hit my head. Silence, please. May all of your multicolored TP rolls, they roll over and down a hill, leaving you only with cardboard in your hand. Yaga. Okay, let me grab the envelopes. May you not eat yellow snow that has asparagus taste to it. Yucca.
Watch out where the Huskies go. Don't eat any of that yellow snow.
Anywho, I have all of the answers. I will give the answer to the question. Okay, first one. Yucca. I'm thinking of the word. The word is communication.
Communication?
Communication. Would you like to know the question, man?
Yes, love it.
Of course you would. Who doesn't? What do they call groups of hippies that take vacations together? Yeah.
Man, you can't make this stuff up.
You cannot, sir.
You cannot.
Okay. I'm going to give the next answer. Okay. I'm divining the answer. I'm divining. Oh God, I'm divining. And the answer is rainforest.
Rainforest?
Rainforest, man. That's what I said. Rainforest. Would you like to know the question, Paulie? Sir Paul?
I can't. Yeah.
Are your ears okay?
My ears are okay.
A lot of these people, they hurt your ear. What are those three things that are in there? Rainforest. What's the weather like at the Gump House? Yeah. You can't make this up, can you, sir? Speaking of, may your hair frizz up like Mrs. Roper in a rainforest. Yeah. Ka-ching. Barb likes that.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Ka-ching. The next answer. Are you ready? I'm going to divine a little faster. I think I can divine.
Get that brain working quicker, man.
I got to get it working quicker. It's got to wake up. I usually am not up at this time of day. Carpet.
Carpet?
Carpet.
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 That's what I said, man. Carpet.
Carpet.
What do you call a dog in a vehicle? Nigga. Yeah. May you win $1,000 shopping spree at Kmart Rack, exclusively in the Dennis Rodman collection section.
Do you know how much you could buy with $1,000 at the Kmart shop, Dennis Rodman collection at Kmart Rack?
You could buy a ton, man. You probably could own the whole thing.
Probably.
You could probably get Dennis Rodman to come by and sign autographs, too. That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Do you think he'd do that?
No.
No. I particularly picked this one out for you, Sir Paul.
No, thank you.
Considering you're a dentist. This one is being divined. I'm divining. And the answer is doctor.
Oh, doctor. I got to hear this one. Doctor?
Doctor. Would you like to know the answer?
I'm just waiting.
Mr. Dentist Man over there. May you have to do all of Bobbette's teeth.
As long as she pays me, I'm good.
Okay, the answer is doctor. What do you call a musician-physician concert series? A doctor. You're supposed to say Jimmie the Moonificent.
Oh, man. The great Jimmie the Moonificent.
Yes, I will be playing at 16 Prospect along with Sir Paulie in a few weeks, so I will see you there after my stint at the Rialto. Yeah.
Rialto's closed, man.
Just like this skit. Thank you, Sir Paulie. I'm going to go get the Bowler Express out of town. Thank you. Wow. That Jimmie Moonificent, man, he just never disappoints, does he?
Well,
Sort of.
no, Jimmy's awesome. Jimmie the Moonificent.
Jimmy's Jimmie.
Jimmy is Jimmie. He's a brilliant man. He's a genius.
He's a genius.
He's a genius.
He's a genius in his own world.
He's a magical, mystical genius.
So we're going to move on to our next topic here. Just quickly, we're going to talk about our words for the year. So I'll explain to the randomies what we mean by that. So my wife and I every year pick a word that we're going to use for the year to either, drive our business, drive our, personal goals, aspirational goals, whatever that is for the year. So like an example, a few years ago, I picked the word streams, and I used that in a couple of ways. One was looking for new streams of revenue for our printing business, and looking for new streams to fly fish in. The goal was half met in that we did find a lot of new streams of revenue for the business, but because of that, I didn't do a lot of fly fishing that year, which is okay. It really is. I would rather grow the business, and when I can, I'll relax and go fly fishing. So we're going to talk about our words for the year, just go through what our thoughts are, and I'll kick it off. And actually, I kind of cheated a little on my word for the year because it wound up being the title of this show, which is communication. I decided as I'm writing the show with Paul, like as we write the show, I'm looking at the title and I'm like, that's a great word, communication. You know, that's what I do, not only in this podcast, but I communicate in my my printing business, Minuteman Press and Clark. We communicate there. We're always on social media, promoting and communicating. And even today, when we talked about the communication new avenues for the show, where we're now on a YouTube channel, and that we have a residency over at 16 Prospect every last Wednesday of the month, where we'll be communicating to a live audience. So I thought the word communication was a great word. And what I would say, when you choose a word, you want it to be able to have multiple outlets. It doesn't have to just be business or personal. It can be multiple avenues, and a word that you can use in multiple ways. So that's my word for the year, communication. And I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Paul Banks for his word of the year.
My word of the year is positivity.
I love it.
Positivity.
I positively love it.
Positivity opens doors, opens communication, and it allows you to proceed and achieve your goals. And the reason I say that is because if you use the word negativity closes everything. So I think positivity is everything.
Sure does. It keeps the line of communication open.
It's such a your health isn't just your body. Health is your mind.
It is.
And if you what I went through last year, some of you know, but some of you don't. But I was going through a lot of treatment for cancer, which I'm okay now. But that got me through it. I think that gets everyone through everything. If you there's a saying that I heard, and I actually have a plaque of it at home. It says, don't look back, you're not going that way.
True.
And you got to be positive. Positivity keeps you going, keeps you strong, and you can achieve whatever you want to achieve with that attitude.
Absolutely. And there's another saying that I think it kind of goes along with what you just said, and that is, you can't drive a car looking in the rearview mirror. You got to look forward.
That's true.
Right? Have you tried that? Hopefully not.
Well, people tell me the best way to see Kensington is in your rearview mirror.
I could say so. Depending, yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so communication and positivity, that's our words for the year. So communicate positively.
And
thank you.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. And we are back. Yes, so we're gonna end the show here. We're gonna do some thank yous to Barbara Maninno for being here today, the super communicator, marketing guru. Woohoo!
Very, very impressive, Barb.
Yeah, she's really impressive. She really is. She's a big time help in corporate branding and communication. So thank you, Barbara, for being here. You can reach out to Barb on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and just reach out to Barb, and she's happy to help and walk through your any kind of communications, marketing, corporate communications, branding, etc. And she's a big time help. Excellent, and like I said, incredible editor as well. She made my words really just explode off the page compared to how I wrote them. I mean, I wrote the basic content and the structure of it, but Barb, it was like magical, like Moonificent. It was just magical. Maybe not like that, but anyway.
That's a real bad analogy.
That's a really bad. Sorry, Barb. I didn't mean to liken you to Moonificent. So anyway, thanks, Barbara Maninno, for being on the show. And, Again, we're going to be talking with Mike Marino coming up, and you can check out his tour schedule at mikemarino.net. That's mikemarino.net for ticket information and show times. And to thank our new sponsor, 16 Prospect Wine Bar and Bistro. And they are located in the center of charming, right? Westfield.
And their name is their address.
Their name is their address. Very true. In the front, they have a warm bar, a lounge, and a stage area featuring live music. Yeah, it's great. Most nights of the week they do. And they have a 72-seat dining room that occupies the back. As we talked about earlier, the menu is a reflection of the varied interests and eclectic tastes of Tim and Chris Boyle, the owners. It's extremely unique among restaurants in Westfield, New Jersey. Their dishes feature fresh ingredients accompanied by bold flavors, a focus on making everything in-house down to the bread, fruit, juices, cocktail mixes, and bar snacks.
And of all of that great food, Jim likes the pizza burger.
I do like the pizza burger. I sure do. And I like the beer on tap as well. This is dedication to excellence in every level, and it adds up to a very memorable experience, as Paul and I have talked about. And it is seriously probably my favorite, restaurant, bar, hangout place that I've ever been. I just really like going there. I feel, welcome there. And so you will feel welcome too. So please check it out. 16 Prospect Wine Bar and Bistro, great people, inviting atmosphere, incredible dishes and beverages. Again, it's located in downtown Westfield, and its address is its name, 16 Prospect Street, and that's across from the firehouse and train station just off North Avenue in downtown Westfield. So go check it out. And Dr. Paul Banks over here and our Florham Park Dental Excellence. And what do they like to do?
I like to make smiles you could see for miles.
He can smile for miles and miles. They can smile for miles and miles, right?
They can smile for miles and miles.
They can smile for miles and miles and miles.
Provided you don't sing.
Like Miles Davis or miles, like long, like length.
Like the length.
The length. Okay.
Miles, that would be, a lot of long distance. Depends how many miles.
So you go get your smiles for miles over at FlorhamParkDental.com for more information. That's FlorhamParkDental.com for more information. And we have Minuteman Press of Clark. Me, Jim Mooney, Seamus Mooney, and Bridget Hanlon. We are your branding and printing partners. You can visit us at nj213.minuteman.com. That's nj213.minuteman.com for all of your printing needs, just like you're seeing here on our Randommy set.
I love my hat.
I love your hat. That looks good. Looks good on you.
Got a free bowl of soup.
Oh, you know what's different? I figured it out.
What?
That's the first time I've ever seen you wear your hat forward.
Yeah, I know, because I left the other one home, the one that has the writing on the back.
That has the randommy.
I got to represent,
Random fandom on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's what's different. I was like, what is different about Paul?
Well, I dropped a few pounds.
Well, that too. You look terrific.
Thank you.
You really do. I did say that earlier, but that's what it is. You're wearing the baseball hat forward. I've actually never seen you wear your baseball hat forward. It must be a new year and a new Paulie.
New year, new me. Well, same old me, but a new year.
Yeah, same old me. No, you look good. You look great.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank our fantastic Random S team. Producer, Ange Mooney. Production and editing, Bridget Hanlon. And executive producer, Seamus Mooney. You can now catch us not only on Spotify, but on YouTube. And the last Wednesday of each month at 16 Prospect in downtown Westfield in the early evening, where you can have some beverages and you can have some food that you can order up at 16. And then watch our variety show, right, Paulie?
And there's a guarantee Jim's going to now guarantee Jim has at least one pizza burger a month.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. And you get some free beverages now.
Yeah.
Aren't you looking forward to that?
I am. It's a great place.
Go check us out on YouTube, please, and follow us. We would appreciate it. And for Paul and I, where we like to say, hey, randommies, always stay
Random-esque.
It was very random meeting you, and now you're a part of our lives, the Random family. Thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Here's to 2025. Thank you.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Thanks.
Have a topic you would like the Random-esque podcast to discuss randomly? Please email us at randomesque@gmail.com. That's RANDUMBESQUE@gmail.com. This has been the Random-esque podcast, produced by Moonrock LLC. And remember, always stay Random-esque.